All right, welcome to another video. So why your ROAS drops when you scale your Facebook ads. So this happens every time and this happens to everybody. And as you can see in this case, we're spending 3.6K, the ROAS is good. And the moment we get to 5K, it drops to 3. It drops to 2.9 and here we start having problems. And in another ad account, we're spending 2.4K, typical thing per day. 2.96, this is very good for the profit margins in this case. And then as soon as we scale a little bit or keep it at high spend, it goes down to 1.42. And then we lower it a little bit and it corrects to 2.10. It is a pain in the ass, right? So again, this is the number one challenge for everyone running Facebook ads and trying to scale. Typical question that I get every single week. And actually I was making an analysis on the calls that I book. Basically, I've got this link or Calendly to book calls with me for coaching, and there's the typical form. What problems are you having? How much are you spending per month? So there's one question that says, when it comes to scaling your Facebook ads, what are you struggling with specifically? And there's a pattern where everybody has the same problem. So as you can see there, these are real answers by e-com brand owners, by marketing agencies. I struggle with costs increasing when I scale. I've got strong results in the first few days, then performance drops off quickly. Declining ROAS and profitability as I increase budget. I find an ad creative that works for a few weeks but fatigues quickly. So over and over again, I see the same thing, not only for the accounts that I operate, but also for strangers that book calls with me, and also for people that I coach on these group calls. Everybody has the same thing, right? So today we have one of the best videos that I'm gonna have on my channel for sure. It's taken 3 to 4 hours to create this whole thing. And we're gonna cover 3 points. The first one is how the ad delivery algorithm works on Meta. This is gonna be short, quick, but you need to understand how your ads are being delivered when you scale and what changes. Then I'm gonna give you 10 short reasons why your ROAS drops as soon as you scale budget. So images, examples, and then the sauce, the good stuff. So stick till the end. 5 easy to implement strategies to gain ROAS consistency. Create pipeline, the way you manage the budget, media buying, the diversification, cold traffic offer funnel, and my opinion and my perspective on this. So that is it before we start. So you have an idea. Everything that I'm going to be teaching you in this video is going to be based on, this is made till August of this year. So real-time data, 1.4 million in ad spend by myself, 4x ROAS, almost 6 million revenue for customers, for my clients. And this is yesterday in one of the ad accounts that I help scale, 4.6K ad spend, 5.5 ROAS. So it's good. I still have ROAS inconsistency myself, but I'm going to teach you what I do in my case. I've been in ad world as a speaker, in affiliate world as well, into the Meta headquarters multiple times. So I hope that's enough to make you stick till the end of the video. Also, quick agreement before I dive into this. Again, it took 3 to 4 hours. So if you find value at any point in this video, as a return favor, I'm gonna ask you to just hit the like button, thumbs up, and that's gonna probably boost the video and it's gonna reach thousands of people, which is the goal of the video, to make as many people as possible to watch the video. So if at any point you get value, make sure you just put a thumbs up. You can put a comment with positive feedback if you want to, or if you have a question, also put a comment. I reply to every single question. That being said, point number 1, how the ad delivery algorithm works on Meta. So nowadays, everybody talks about the algorithm, this scary thing. It looks like black magic, whatever, it's changing. Now we had Andromeda, I made a video about that. So in my opinion, three steps, 3 things about the algorithm that you need to know if you want to scale Facebook ads consistently, profitably, blah, 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 blah. The first one is going to be, it's just an auction. So in an auction, you're competing against other people, and the best one is the one that's going to win. So every impression is an auction. So every time somebody opens Instagram, there's gonna be hundreds of auctions from ads that want to be delivered to this person, okay? Your ad is gonna compete against a lot of people. It's milliseconds, so in real time, you're competing with your ad. Who wins the auction? The ad with the highest total value. Total value, what is this? So total value is essentially this formula, very simple. I explained it already in many YouTube videos. I'm gonna leave a couple of relevant links on the description of this YouTube channel. So after the video, you can still go to the articles and dive deeper into different things that I'm going to touch on in this video. But basically, 3 points in this formula that you need to understand. First one is the beat multiplied by the estimated action rate plus relevance and quality. What is this? So the bid is basically what you're willing to pay to get a purchase. If you make automatic bidding, which is 90% of you, guys, Facebook's gonna determine how much you bid. If you do manual bidding, bid cap, cost cap, maybe max value, it's gonna be different. Then the second point, estimated action rate. This is basically Meta's prediction of conversion probability for that person right now. So the estimated action rate is gonna be different in every auction. So, and as I said, there are hundreds of auctions happening at the same time, millions of auctions. So the estimated action rate changes depending on who is gonna receive your ad. And then the last one, ad quality, how good your ad is versus others. Again, you're competing all the time. It's not like, oh, my creative looks beautiful. Doesn't matter if it looks beautiful. Does it look more beautiful than your competitors? That's the point. So Facebook's gonna look at CTR, feedback, relevant signals to understand if your ad is better, is worth delivering more than your competitors. That's point number one. That's the auction system summarized. Now, novelty bias. This is just my theory. This is my opinion. So no facts, and Meta will never disclose this, but there might be an auction boost when you launch a new ad creative. You've probably seen it yourself. Meta will deliver this fresh content to the low-hanging fruits. That's gonna be a small audience that Meta knows will convert. So high estimated action rate users. So because the content is new, it's being delivered to these high estimated action rate users. That's probably people who already engage with your brand and they have a high probability of converting. So you will see day 1 to day 3 of launching a new ad, maybe you see ROAS 3. But then in day 4, the ROAS will go down. Typical thing. It is a pain in the ass. I might think the same as you, but this is a theory that I have about the algorithm, okay? And then the last thing is learning phase equals stability. I think yes, but some people think no. My opinion is yes, after a lot of years doing Facebook ads, 8 years actually, 30 million in ad spend, all of these things. So the algorithm is designed to spend your budget, not to maximize your ROAS, and you have to have that super clear. And if you want to scale too fast, typical thing, you would break learning phase and everything. What happens here is that Meta has to start reaching unqualified audiences. So very open audiences where the quality is gonna drop. So they're not gonna be high estimated action rate users, and the ROAS is just gonna go down, okay? So stable scaling is usually what we look, unless we're doing intraday scaling, that I will also talk about that in 4 minutes. You wanna give the algorithm time to learn, and you wanna also feed it with fresh creatives, and of course, good creatives. So with this being said, I'm gonna give you the ROAS evolution graph that I think is what usually happens. So let's try to do this. Now this is gonna be the graph, okay? So here we're gonna have time, and here in this axis we're gonna have ROAS. Okay, I feel like I'm back in college. So let's say this is day 3, and this is the point where you exit learning phase. Okay, so usually the ROAS is gonna be pretty good. Let's say you start here. This is day 3. Actually, it's gonna be like 1, 2, 3. So 3 peaks. This is day 3. The ROAS is phenomenal. Let's say this is 4, just to do the example. This is 4. And then you will see that from day 3 until you exit learning phase, the ROAS will be like this, approximately, okay? And once you exit learning phase, it's gonna go up again. This is my theory, okay? So let's do it actually more real. Boom, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. Now it's very bad. And then once you exit learning phase, the ROAS is gonna go up to, imagine it goes to 3, and it will be stable in 3. So this is very good. This is very good. But here we suffer, okay? This is what I think happens. So if the ad is good enough, this will not go to 0.5 ROAS, and it will exit learning phase pretty fast. But if the ad is not too good, on the first 3 days, the ROAS is gonna be great. But after day three is just an example, but after day 3, it will go down to here and it will be inconsistent, but low inconsistent, like 0.5, 1, 0.5, 3, 1.5, 1.2, 0.5, 4. That's bad. So the average is going to be bad. And I think this is the ROAS evolution graph on Facebook ads. Let's keep on going. So 10 short reasons why your ROAS drops when you scale budget. Let me turn on the AC, because with this red light, it's getting heated. So more spending equals more impressions. So you start reaching not ready to buy strangers. Estimated action rate goes down. If you remember what I mentioned, your bid is usually going to be the same. The relevance and quality of like the ad is going to be the same as well. So the thing that's changing is this one. Of course, your CTR will probably go down. You're not going to get as many likes, but usually the estimated action rate when you're reaching this new audience that's not so qualified, it goes down, right? So one of the ways to fight this is to have ads like the one on the left. So if you look at that ad from Dr. Squatch, it says top 3 soaps every 55 plus men has to try. That's very cold traffic friendly, because if I'm a man and I don't know the brand, I'm like top 3, it's like a ranking. There's this cute girl. There's another guy that looks like me that's using the product. Top 3. Let's see what are the top 3. It's cold traffic friendly. It's an ad that's going to expand very well. But instead, these ones are shit to go to cold traffic. Maybe they are profitable when you spend $50 a day, but the moment you want to put them at $500 a day each, they're going to be very bad in terms of performance. They might be good for retargeting, but for cold prospecting, they're going to be really, really bad. Everybody's going to skip it. Estimated action rate is going to go down. The ad relevance and quality is going to go down, etc. So the CPA is just going to go up. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is ad fatigue. So you spend more, but this extra ad spend is being consumed by a high frequency. So you're repeating impressions. You're reaching the same people over and over again. And you can see it from actually my screenshot here in one of the accounts that I manage. You can see that both in this CBO, in this testing campaign, the one below, the frequency is pretty high, 2.7 and 3.31. Now, if my ROAS starts to be inconsistent, I'm going to look at the frequency. I'm going to be like, okay, do I have a problem here? Or is it actually being properly well distributed among different ads? But actually, it's a pretty high frequency. And you can tell by, for example, this CPM, it's normal that the CPM is so high if I've got a frequency of 3.3. It's normal. It's not Facebook doing weird stuff. I'm just reaching the same people over and over, and that's usually more expensive. So ad fatigue is one of the reasons. Let's keep on going. Your conversion process is not cold traffic friendly. So for example, if you look at this landing page by SolarWave, I didn't realize how tired my eyes looked until I saw the difference. Okay, so this is an educational landing page that people who are not familiar with the product, they're gonna wanna read this. It's like a case study. It's like a testimonial from a woman that looks like me. Okay, let's check it out. But if I bring these people into a product page, and the very first thing that they see is that they have to spend $100 with me, they're gonna bounce. And so the conversion process, depending on what you sell, has to be cold traffic. Let me plug this thing. Has to be cold traffic friendly. So think about what you're selling and think about, should I change something in my product page, landing page that I'm using, something that's suitable for people that don't know me and they need a little bit of education before I show them the price and I tell them that they have to buy, etc. Point number 4, niche ad creatives. So your communication is super technical, and that's only for the industry nerds, not for the mass market. In coaching calls, many times, I'm like, you overcomplicate the angle. Like, technical ad angles. Many people do this, and I'm like, I don't even understand what is this benefit and the problem that you're talking about. It's too specific. Not a lot of people will understand it. So if my ad has to reach today 100,000 people, different users, I want that these 100,000 people understand my ad, all of them. And I want my ad to be relevant for all of them. So if I start putting super technical content, words and everything, half of these people are gonna be like, what is this? Skip. And they will skip. So don't be super technical. Think, if you read this book that I always recommend, you will see that first you wanna appeal to a mass desire, and only then you wanna talk about product features. So if I was selling this water, I would not be like, this water has a secret mineral, you should buy it. I would be like, do you feel tired the entire day? Or do you feel tired 3 hours after waking up? It's because of the water that you're drinking. We discovered and tried this water with a secret mineral that will fix XYZ. That's completely different, right? Because I'm starting with a mass desire. So that means that these 100,000 people that I'm showing my ad to are gonna be interested, are gonna be hooked in, and after that I'm gonna pitch the vehicle. And the vehicle of change, in this case, it's water that has a secret mineral. But it can be anything. So be relevant for as many people as possible in your cold traffic ads. Wrong ad account structure. You've got videos about this in my channel. Basically, it depends on how many products you have in your store. Okay, if there's one product, if you're selling one product, the ad account structure has to be based on angles. If you're selling 1 to 10 products, ad account structure by product, and if you're selling more than 10 products, ad account structure by product category. That's summarized what I would do. And then you want to have prospecting, you want to have retargeting, you want to have manual bidding and not manual bidding, and you want to separate testing from scaling, in my opinion. And fixing ad account structure sounds stupid, but many times it solves a lot of problems. 6 and 7, they go together. You have no short-term aggressive retargeting and you have no long-term ecosystem retargeting. This means that if you're spending 200 a day, no problem. The moment you're spending 5K a day, you need this. And I don't care if Facebook by default will do a little bit of retargeting. I don't care, because I want to still have a little bit of control over this. And if we do double retargeting, whatever, let's go, double. So I still want to control the message that somebody's going to see right after they add to cart and not buy. So the question is, do I see 10 more ads the next 7 days after adding to cart and not buying? And if the answer is no, you need that. Because cold traffic might not convert on the first touch point, but if you cycle them through 3 days, they might buy. And these extra retargeting sales are giving you the consistency. Like today, consistency is impacted by how you are treating the people that added to cart 4 days ago. And if they added to cart 4 days ago and today they buy, they will give you ROAS consistency. Not because of the impressions that you did today, but the impressions that you did 4 days ago. But because you were retargeting, they will buy today, so the sale is attributed to today, and that increases your today's ROAS. So that's important. And then, do I keep on seeing a great variety of content for the next 30 days? This is called ecosystem, I call it ecosystem retargeting, and the other one is closing sales. So this is closing sales, this is ecosystem retargeting. So I stay there over and over and over again. Point number 8, you have exhausted the purchase audience of a specific country. This is for people that are actually scaling very hard, like above 5K a day. Well, depends on the country. But for example, I've had this case in the US spending 10K per day. We together with the people at Meta, we think this might be happening. So if you go to your ad sets, usually they will say this: oh, this is very broad. You have 153 to 180 million people that could be your audience for this ad. Not true. It's not true. Like, you're not gonna reach these 180 million people because not all of them are gonna be inside this, purchase category and also interested in your product, so you win the auctions. So in reality, that's more like, I don't know, 20 million. For example, the potential reach. But usually what's going to happen is the algorithm is going to be conditioned to is going to be biased towards a certain type of person, and then you're going to have 5 million reach at a frequency of 3, depends on, let's say yearly, at a frequency of 5. And you're going to have 25 million impressions. And Facebook will charge you for the impressions, the CPM. So for them, this is okay. And you're not growing because you're not reaching new people. So every time that, inside of this, every time that I would increase my budget, I would just increase the impressions. So even if I would spend more, the reach would still be 5 million, and then I would get 30 million impressions at a frequency of 6. So scaling will only increase the frequency. And that's something that we've been doing a 3-month exercise with something that we call incremental reach efforts. And that's been basically running campaigns with objectives different than conversion or different than purchase. So view content, awareness, stuff like this. It's not something that I love, but something that I think it opens the potential market that you're targeting. So when you feel like you've been spending a lot of money for a long time in a country, and maybe you have exhausted the purchase audience for that specific vertical with your specific product and your specific pixel, etc., it's good to start running those. Then meta problems. This I sent last week on the Meta Scaling Accelerator WhatsApp group. So basically I inform everybody that, hey, basically there's in the status page, there's an outage, and Facebook Ads Manager has high disruptions. And as you see, I launched the CBO 120 a day, and it spent the full 120 in a couple of hours. So basically, right now, I'm not gonna lie to you, Meta is being super challenging. They're introducing more AI, Andromeda, etc. So one of the reasons for inconsistencies can be Meta itself. And the last one, my favorite, you scale on the wrong days. So if you look at this, I never spent flat. This is the last 2 months, so July, August. There's not a single day that I spend the same. So this amount spent, okay, is dancing from, this is more or less 6K to 3K. 6K to 3K, I'm dancing there. Boom, 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 boom. And this is not random. This is on purpose. And I will show it to you in the next exercise, in the next point. So let's look at it. But basically, if there is a day where historically people don't buy and you go and you scale, your ROAS is going to go down. So you have to scale when the market is favorable. Okay? Let's keep on going. So, 5 easy to implement strategies to gain ROAS consistency. Let's go. Remember, we have a deal. So if you're enjoying the video so far, if you got some value out of it, thumbs up, and let's boost the engagement as we do with ads to get a higher or a lower CPM. We have to make this video get a lot of views. Anyways, also let me get a little bit of water because this is going to be interesting. First point, active ad creative pipeline. One thing that I did not add here that I usually ask is when somebody comes to me and they're like, I'm having ROAS inconsistency, blah, 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 blah. And I say, how many winning ad creatives do you have? Like how many creatives are active, spending, and giving you a ROAS above your target? And they're like, right now 1. And I'm like, of course you have ROAS inconsistency. Like you literally only have 1 winning ad creative. So by default, you're gonna have inconsistency. Your problem is not, like your focus should not be consistency. Your focus should be, I need to get 5 winning ad creatives ASAP. Anyways, so ad creative pipeline, example, on a weekly basis. you could have one iteration of 5 winner ads. So imagine that last week you found 5 ads that were great. So you're gonna make an iteration of each one, okay? So that's 5 new ads. And then you're gonna develop a new hypothesis. And then you're gonna do one random thing, like a random test. We usually do this, and it's let's boost an Instagram post that did very well with engagement, or let's run this super random ad with just text, stuff like this, whatever you can find there. You've got to be a creator in a so competitive space. So in total, with this exercise, if you do it on a weekly basis, you will add 7 new ads or 7 new ad sets with variations inside the ad set. That's not the point. Let's not discuss that. And also remember to refresh the retargeting on a monthly basis. But basically, this will help you, 1, have fresh content, which is something that Facebook loves. And number 2, it's gonna help you have over 5 winner ads in the ad account, which is a must. Like, if you don't have 5 winner ads, you are going to have inconsistency. Like, there's no debate. Anyways, this is a must to gain more consistency at first. Then you want to optimize your budget like a trader. So you want to follow patterns. And this is what I'm talking about, wave surfing. It's a topic that I've developed over the years that I talk about in every single one of my conferences, in every single one of my workshops, especially for Black Friday, which is something that is coming actually. I don't know when I'm going to release this video, but Black Friday Mastermind coming very soon, I think October. Anyways, you want to be smart. You want to follow the trends. This is macroeconomics. This is mass behavior. So as an example, today it's August 31st. Between Friday the 29th of August and Monday the 1st of September, millions of people will receive their monthly salary. And I ask you, what does it mean for an e-commerce store? What does it mean? There's more liquidity in the market. So the willingness to spend money on things that they don't need goes up. And so that's just one example. The other thing that you should be doing is study with the Facebook reports, with the Shopify reports, and with ChatGPT. Study what is your historical best day of the week in terms of revenue, volume, CPM, CPC, everything. In this case, for me, it's Sundays. And what do you think I do every single Sunday? And actually, I'm going to show you in real time that I posted on Instagram before recording this video. You see it right there. Sundays, wave surfing ad budgets. And it's like 22 ad sets that I was updating. So every single Sunday, I would come into the ads manager. This is the report on Facebook. So every single... Did the light change? It looks so different. It looks sexy. Anyways, every single Sunday, I go into the ads manager and I push the budget, I push the budget, I push the budget, and I push the budget. And if you see, this is March of 2023. And I've been doing this thing since 2021. Sometimes I skip it on Sundays, and depending on the time. But and it has a real impact on Shopify. So basically, I want to do these revenue picks on Sundays, and that's when I can take a risk and basically spend more money. And on Mondays that I know they are shit, and especially Tuesdays are very bad for the brand in terms of conversion rate and everything historically, I'm gonna spend less money on Facebook. It's just common sense. Same thing for 2025, because I still do it. I told you I'm still doing it, I'm still doing it. This is Facebook ad spend on a daily basis, January to March. And the red points are Sundays. So every single Sunday, I increase the budget. And sometimes we make an ad spend record and we get to spend almost 10K here. This is low season for them, but still, we're pushing. So we get to spend 10K, but immediately the next day, I go back to 5.8K. I had to do it as fast as possible because I know Monday and Tuesday are going to be really bad. So those couple of CBOs that I scale very aggressively are going to lose the learning phase, but no problem. Because here I'm protecting the company profits. Anyways, next Sunday, the same thing. So depending on the Sunday, I'm going to be more aggressive or less aggressive. But that's not the point. Also here you see that Sundays are usually the best days, and Tuesdays are complete shit. So that's that. What else? Same thing with intraday scaling in the middle of Black Friday. Last Black Friday with this brand, we did a crazy record. Year over year, it was 170% growth, 466K in one day. And this is the Facebook budget on an hourly basis, right? So we start the day very chill, 600 per hour, 700 per hour. But then on the good hours, we get to 4K, 3.8, 4K, 4K. And then as soon as I see, because I know that after 10 or so, things are going to start to decrease. You see it there. Here, starts to decrease. I'm going to lower the budget. And I finish at 1.6, 2.4, 2K, 1K, and then 4 a.m. I go to sleep. But that's not the point. Anyways, you got to manage your budget. Like, don't scale if the next day is going to be bad. That's it. Look at the patterns, look at everything. If it's the 25th of the month and people are dry, they don't have the salary, I'm not saying you don't scale, but I'm saying it's going to be more risky to scale there rather than scaling at the beginning of the month. And that's just common sense. Another point, media buying diversification. This goes completely against the new trendy philosophy of having just one CBO in the ad account and letting Meta do the work and all of that. And I'm not entirely against the philosophy of consolidating, like it's something that I do, but it will get you out of learning phase super fast. It's easier to manage. It has other inconveniences. Again, that's not the topic. So the point here is, if I want to spend 5K tomorrow, there's zero chance that I will do it in just one CBO. I would never do it. I want to diversify my risk, especially my ROAS dancing like crazy. So something that I do as an example is, for example, this is a Labor Day launch that I did. And in this Labor Day launch, you can see that I have a retargeting campaign. I've got an ABO campaign where I'm testing out creatives. And then I've got 3 CBOs. Why do I have 3 CBOs? Long story short, this is a very short campaign that I need to scale very fast. But I don't know who's going to work best, because I don't know how competitive the auction is going to get. Labor Day, a lot of brands advertising. A lot of brands are back from the holidays. So beginning of September, they're going to come back and they're going to increase the budgets. I'm talking about the Coca-Colas, the BMWs, etc. So do I need to go very hard on an aggressive bid? Do I need to go on a low bid? Should I go to expensive people? I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm going to diversify my risk. But I'm not going to create a CBO that says CBO Labor Day, put there 20 ad sets and be like, Facebook's going to take care of it. Fuck no. And then to give you an example, also, that's for the Labor Day, but in general, I do things like this. Like I diversify my media buying into different bids and different, like I want to participate in different auctions. So to give you the example here, this max value campaign, the CPM is 47. And then the bid cap 200, the CPM is 17. Both have a really good ROAS. So it's not better or worse. I'm just reaching different people. So you see it right there. I'm not participating in the same auctions. I'm not reaching the same users, but the ad creatives are the same. And that's diversification right there. 17 CPM does not mean that it's going to be better, because maybe the people at 47, if I'm doing max value, they're going to spend more money. So that's it. You have to participate in different auctions. You have to reach different audiences. And you want to basically diversify the risk of things not working. So having multiple campaigns, that's it. And that's something that I've been doing always. And if tomorrow the CBO with max value doesn't work, but the CBO with a bid cap works phenomenal, I'm good. Let's go. I have both. And depending on who works, we can scale one or the other, depending on the moment of the month, depending on the moment of the year. If things are very competitive or things are not very competitive, having a diversified ad account allows me to adapt to the auction dynamics, to the level of competition. August is very different from September. So you need to know these patterns to adapt to it and not be a victim of it. Number 4, cold traffic offer and funnel. Long story short, if you have something similar to fashion, you want to use collection pages with lots of product options. Don't just limit it to a collection page with 5 products. Even if they are not related, just make a new section, but give people a lot of options. And that's going to be more cold traffic friendly because it's easier for people to find what they want. And then if you have a problem solution product, like a serum or something cosmetics, a supplement, whatever, you want to use landing pages like listicles, advertorials. You pretty much need to educate people before they see the price. That's it. If you are selling an anti-aging product and you send them straight to the product page, it's not gonna scale, in my opinion. So if you sell something complex that needs an explanation and you send people to this product page and the first thing that they see is that they have to spend $120, it's just not gonna convert. Because the moment that you start reaching audiences that don't know you, they will not buy. But that's just common sense. I would not buy. Would you buy? Probably not. So, and it's gonna take so much effort in retargeting to convert that one user. It's just not worth it. And discounts will help a lot there. Then after 1K a day in ad spend, my opinion, to close up the video, more or less depending on the country, but once you're spending some good amount, you want to look at blended metrics. You want to see the blended ROAS, MER type of thing, profit, how things are going, and you want to look at the trends, so 7-day trends, rather than waking up in the morning and then by 12 midday you check how the morning has been, and there's one ad set that yesterday was at ROAS 7 and today's at ROAS 1, and you get all worried. No, it's think more open, more. I know it's tough. It's annoying, and you're like, this was working so well yesterday. Why this morning it's not converting? Should I turn it off? But no, like you want to think about, it's an algorithm, statistical significance, overall brand impact, averages. Things will average out, good or bad. That's what you think of when you need to think about. And also attribution, delayed attribution. There's so many things. So in general, for you to know, like big brands, they don't get bothered about an ad set doing ROAS. Today 3, tomorrow 1.5, 4.2, 5.4, 1.2, 0.9, 4.4, 3.1. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the market by itself is inconsistent. If you have 3 days in a row that are bad, get concerned. But if the weekly average or the monthly average is over target, then we're good. So that's the closing of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Took a little bit of time to design the whole thing, make the 10 reasons why your ROAS might be inconsistent, the 5 solutions. Also, I hope you got this foundation of the algorithm. And if you've got further questions, I can help you out in the comments. If you want to join the accelerator program, be in the coaching with other ecom brand founders and be with myself, we've got group calls, one-on-one calls. You get to be part of the different masterminds that we have, like the upcoming one, which is the Black Friday mastermind. I'm going to leave a link for that in the description. You can apply. You will speak to me, and we'll figure it out what's good for you. And that's that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like again if you got some value out of it. We had a deal, and I appreciate you a lot. Thank you. Good luck. See you in the next one. Ciao.